it's like in the movie, it's like who's like someone's action can affect someone else's life, and their actions can affect someone else's life. Like I kind of, I kind of take that like an action can, can change the events or something in someone's life, or or anything can happen. Like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the characters don't know each other, but just and they're like doing things, and just because they're doing something, it can affect someone else from a distance or something else. Like, and then there's like an interaction, like a whole like crossroads thing that happens in the end. Like it all kind of like uh flurries up to that, or if that's not the right word, but like everyone's actions ends up meeting in a crossroads, and then they end up like, I don't know. You get some good. I don't say it. I don't know, but you get some good writing
Hmm.
doing that kind of stuff, because like someone could be doing something over here, and you don't know if it's affecting you on the long run, or
Yeah.
and then in the crossroads, like, do you meet this character? Like, what happens? Like, like there's all kinds of stuff to play with there, but yeah, but anyways, going back to like story writing and stuff. I don't
Oh
know.
wait, wait.
See things like a movie.
Also, oh wait, before you say that, oh, how's it going, Edgar? How's it going, Mr. Cat Buttface? Welcome to the
Oh,
welcome
that's
to
right.
the
You're on.
welcome to the
Oh,
chat.
hello.
Okay, you were saying with the
How's it going? Oh, I didn't even. Oh,
you're
maybe
talking
I
about
did.
story writing with it.
But like, but yeah, no, like, when you're like, I don't know, like when you're writing your books, when you're making your manga, or anything, like, do you like see it like in motion? Do you see it like a movie? Like those are your storyboards
Oh yeah, like
for the film.
I originally wanted to be an animator, but after animating took so long, I
Oh, it does.
didn't. I was at a point where I just didn't know what to do until my sister brought a bunch of indie comics, and I was like, oh wow, this is like storyboarding. But I would look at the whatchamacallit, the what was it, the credits, and I would see like five names on it, and like coming from animation, like five names is a team, and I'm like, I don't have a team. I don't want to do a team. Just want to do things by myself. But it wasn't until like a
You want to
couple.
do solo?
Yeah, I wanted to do it like solo. I didn't want to bring like a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Uh,
kind of. Yeah, it's that one man army thing.
yeah. Oh wait, Rymanus says, Ghetto would be proud of Gart. That's I know that's a One Piece thing, but I have not been up to date with One Piece. But anyway, back to the story. It wasn't until I found manga or was like reading One Piece and JoJo, and I would saw like one name on the in the credits, and I was like, oh, if they can do it, I could probably do it too. So that's how I
Okay,
got.
I
That's
mean,
kind of how I got into it,
okay.
and that was before I knew that they would have assistants and they wouldn't credit their assistants. you know.
I think I would credit if I had, assistants. I would credit them, because it's just like kind of, I don't know, me personally. I just feel like, well, I'm the head asshole, and I did everything.
I guess that's just the culture over there, though.
Yeah, but we live in the West too, and we
Absolutely,
can
you do whatever you
credit.
want.
I mean, we have standards. It's good to. I mean, I mean, you can if you want, but it's like one of those things. Like, um, I don't know. Me personally, I would credit someone.
Oh, Special
It's
Edgar
like,
says this Stevens guy must be really good. Saw a guy saying his comic is the next Berserk. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that interview.
oh, it was on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
he's pretty cool.
does it feel being the next Kentaro Miura
I never really thought of that.
reincarnated?
I mean, he even said, and I said, I don't, I mean, that's some big shoes to fill, and on top of that, like, that's his legacy, and it's like I said, like Superman, if you wear that S on your chest, you better be able to back that shit up.
I mean, even I don't. I think people tend to like think about that stuff through the lens of a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, cause I'm pretty sure Kentaro Miura, even though he loved his work,
yeah,
he probably just still saw it as something that's important to him, but still a job at the still a job in a way. It's a job out of his passion.
but it's something like, but he, but it was something that he was like compelled to do, but also it took out of him. Like he took a
Mm-hmm.
long hiatus, kind of like almost like I don't know, like in a way, like kind of emotional draining because like the situations you kind of mentally have to put yourself through to write some of this stuff.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just speculating because I mean, like, there's some things like even in my volume one, I wasn't, I didn't want to draw that shit. I'm not like, oh yeah, like, yeah, this turned me on, man. Like I didn't. I was like more like I have to tell what's about the world, and I can't be PG-13 about it. I don't want to hold back because if I hold back, then it's like, well, he it's either Lucky Charms or bag cereal version of it.
Mm-hmm. I guess I feel like I have like a different view when it comes to a more utilitarian view when it comes to art. Like it's very I don't have a lot of it's more thought than emotion, honestly. I would say it's more communication than emotion for me. Because when I create write a story, I want to say something first and foremost, and I want to make sure people understand what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and it shows with hey LeMay, what's going on? And it shows with having a the author's notes that I want to include in like every chapter in my book, and so because I guess one of the things for me, I absolutely
Yeah.
dread the idea of the of death of an artist.
Oh, you mean like kick the bucket
No, not
like
that.
that?
No, but like I would write something and then uh, the audience will say I'm saying X, Y, and Z when I actually mean A, B, and C. You know what I mean?
Mm, okay. Kind of metaphoric.
Like
I could be like
I
way
get
off.
or like okay I guess we can do it like the conversation we had earlier. Oh yeah, Ryman says okay, so spoiler man does spoiler things and then dibs. Yeah, not much, but I guess I would say like with the conversation of American History X, like the whole
Yeah.
point of that movie is being a skinhead is not cool. It's gross and dumb and icky. But the guy from your school, he was like, no, being a skinhead is awesome actually. And then
But
got his
also,
teeth
and he
kicked
got
in.
his bucket kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
And then he
that's
realized, man, then he realized he was like, well, I do got a lot of black friends, and I do smoke weed with them, so I mean, this is kind of stupid. Like, I mean, he
yeah.
came to his conclusions, like both of them.
Yeah, so the
I was
whole
like, yeah, you guys look pretty dumb, and they're like trying to erase that whole history of them doing that. It's like, man, that was stupid. But
yeah,
yeah,
like the whole part the whole idea of getting the opposite of what the author wanted to say is the death of the author in action. So so for me, I want what I want to say abundantly clear, but I want everything that I say to have like some sort of nuance so people can so like different perspectives can at least understand or not understand but at least feel represented in one way or another so they don't feel like I'm coming from a place of uh, not superiority
yeah,
but just talking down. I want to talk to people instead of talking down to them, or talking at them. Have a
yeah.
conversation instead
That's
of talking at.
like, yeah. It's just, you don't want to talk down as like kind of condescending, like you're a bad dog. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to be like, you kind of like show them in an educational way. I don't
Well,
know, just like in a perspective, kind of like
yeah, and like
open
different
time.
perspective. Yeah, that's one thing that I always notice with the stories that I tell it's everybody. It's like different perspectives clashing, and like having different perspectives breeds natural discourse between people, which you don't really need with the stories that I tell. You don't really need a MacGuffin. You don't need X, Y, and Z. You just have people wanting to do different things that have their paths cross, and they have to deal
Yeah.
with living with different people, and other people, and like different people deal with social social cues or just being in society differently because
Like,
we all have different
okay.
upbringings.
Yes. Because and that's the thing too. Like when you're writing characters, like going back into that, like, do you like how do you what gets you like going? Like when you're like writing your characters, like what I want to say, what kind of character do you write to make them fit the part?
Oh,
But
I don't really. I guess the one thing that I do is I start with a story idea, and I think who would be the best vehicle with that story, like what I'm working on right now with Purgatory Academy Book
yeah,
3, like Truth, Lies, and Falsehoods. I want the idea of within the context of the story, like Christianity is true, and everything else is false. And
I mean,
what?
okay. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't. I'm gonna let you finish that.
Oh yeah, so in this like perspective of reality, Christianity is true and everything else is false. And everybody within the story, every single character within the story, they don't like that reality. But because they don't like that reality, they all cope with it differently to get to the end result of whether they want to spend eternity with God or not. You know what I mean. So like with Travis, he has a background. He has like a Christian esque background, but he was just around it, but he didn't believe in any of it. And he is paired with this book. He is paired with his friend Ali, who has like a more of a stronger Muslim upbringing, but he
Oh,
is
so
more.
you're getting heavy in the religion with
Yeah.
this.
So it's very so like with the whole problem with this chapter that Travis has with Ali. Travis is more okay with this outcome because he had like 2 books to let it sink in, and he's like, okay, now I have to be serious. While Ali, he doesn't accept it yet, so he still thinks that he's like unconscious or like not. He's not. He doesn't think he's dead, or he doesn't see that this reality is true reality because like if it was, it just means that he died trying to he died trying to make a situation better in his life, and this is kind of it for him. If that's if he if the reality is true that he died, for lack of a better term, lack of a better word. So
So he's
yeah,
trying to. Okay, he can't accept. Well, I don't know. Even if when, even something like that. Like when will he? Could he accept that he's dead? Like I mean, because he's still. I mean, that's what keeps him kind of in limbo. I mean, he's like. I mean, I could be way off on that, but I mean, like,
so
I'm just like thinking, like, how would someone accept that? Okay, this is
I mean
my
it's
new life. This is my fate.
it's literally like people accepting. We go through that every day of accepting the realities that we don't want to see ahead of us, right? Like just like and I guess like it's very broad, but it's very broad, but like that's the general idea that I want to convey is that it like accepting the reality of the situation, it can be hard, but it's easier for some people and harder for others. So the whole point of Travis is to get his friend Ali to accept the reality of his situation so he can move on to the next step of understanding what is his duty or what is everybody's duty in Purgatory Academy.
That would be interesting.
And everybody's not even at the same path. Oh yeah, hey Special Edgar. I wanted to read your thing, but before it left, but I got you back. I got you back. That sounds kind of interesting. There's a lot of things that you can do with all that. Yeah. Hey Curse, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Wait, hold up. Can you guys even see the thing? Oh man, what I hate this. I hate this. Come on, what the heck happened?
But they can't see you or
Oh
see
no,
you.
they couldn't see you. Okay, but I fixed it now. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Chat, let me know if you can not if you ever can't see Ralph's stream. It was working last time. I'm a technician genius, so I'll get it right. I'll get it right. But yeah, um, like everybody, like different people are on like different paths. But like everybody,
Yeah.
so like the whole thing isn't like you have to accept that like Jesus is God or anything yet. You don't have to accept that at this stage. You just have to accept that you're dead. That's all I'm. That's like
That's
all.
all you have.
That's all Travis wants from Ali is like just you just have to accept that you're dead.
But he can't really fathom that.
Yeah, you can't really.
He doesn't can't really take that. Like
Yeah, okay,
it's
it's
like he
working. It's
doesn't
working.
believe it. Is it working?
Yeah, it's working now. But like since like in this chapter, uh, uh Ali is like saying no, there were like this like there's no aspect of like purgatory or whatever in in the Quran or in Islam, so he can't accept it because like since Ali is Muslim, he's like this is not true. Period.
It, it goes against his
Yeah, it goes against
faith,
his yeah, it goes against his faith.
his religion.
Yeah, and so like so it's like also like it's
Well, you're gonna have to change it real
oh
quick.
oh no, literally it's I have the entire book finished and it gets like a little bit more racy than that because at the end of the
Yeah.
book, well at the end of the book or like the end of this A plot, Ali he meets another person who left the Muslim faith, but he died because he was from Pakistan, and I remember reading that Pakistan has some really crazy apostasy laws, like people being burnt, like in public square for like blaspheming, right? And he was like one of the kids that was like he like that's how he met his fate. Like he died as an atheist because, but like he wasn't a Christian, but he was at a
Yeah.
point where he was like, no, like is like Islam is just like Islam like religion is just false period, and he died at the stake for that. So he meets Ali, like a guy that really believes everything, and saying and Ali's like no Muslim would do that, like no real Muslim would like do that to you, and then and then like they would have like a shouting match where they would just scream like Quran verses at each other, but it just turns out in an all out brawl at the end of the at the end of the chapter.
So I see. But but he didn't. But it's like, well, how do you know? Well, this shit did happen to me. I got fucking burned up. Excuse my language.
Oh wait, hold on. Special like here. So are you Christian yourself, and that's why you inspired you to write it? Yeah, kind of. Not kind of. Yeah, yeah, basically.
You are Christian.
Yeah, I am. I'm Christian.
There's nothing wrong with you know having faith and stuff. I don't knock people for that.
Yeah, like it's like the funny thing about Purgatory Academy is, um, I don't like. I remember when I told my mom or like my parents about it, they were like confused. Like they were like, "Why is this a Christian thing?" And I'm like, "No, it's not really. It's just heavily Christian inspired." I guess I took that route because I was inspired by how anime would like take
Yeah.
Christian themes, where like with the Japanese they aren't Christian people, but they like Christian themes and symbolisms within their anime.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you know? Like on YouTube, there's like a Christian anime. Like it's old schools, like from the '80s,
Mm-hmm.
but it's done like really well. um, but yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I think like with that, I mean, I grew up like Veggie Tales and like different kind of like and like Bible comics where it's just explicitly this like it just beats you over that like it's just very blunt with like
Yeah.
this is real, this is true, and or even when they have like non-believers, they're like, oh man, I just want to smoke weed. I just want to, I just want to see the world burn and like stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
like
I'm,
over the top,
like,
kind of exaggerated.
I'm evil because I like it, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like,
yeah, that stuff's freaking interest. It was funny.
yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but and it's not because and it's not that I grew up with a lot of non-believers, cause but like my one of my best friends at the time was like when I was writing this in high school. Well, I had this idea around high school. My friend was an atheist, and we would have a lot of we would have like occasional like conversations or debates back and forth of like, is God real? If he is real, what nature is like? What kind of person is he, or is he a person that's worth worshiping? And I remember him saying like, even if I did believe in God, I wouldn't worship him. And I was like, that's interesting as hell. That is like like I felt like that was very interesting for somebody to say. So like I remember
Yeah,
that idea just resonated with me, and uh, it came to a point where I was like, what if there was like a story where people are like, where people were well, yeah, the rest is history. You have like Purgatory Academy, where like people are like, man, no, like where everybody is at the point where they're like, I don't want to worship God even if He revealed Himself to me. You know what I mean? And like the thing that
yeah,
I ask in the book is like, is that really the best thing to do?
and would in a way too, would this being God would want that, or is that a human thing?
What do you mean by that?
Like we would say, oh well, it's royalty, we have to bow down to it, or but what if a being that knows all and creates it and does everything, at some point does that being want to be like bowed down to and all that because it has a broad understanding of everything?
I
And I always see, I don't know, I had this real quick, I had this
mm,
I don't say revelation, but I had this situation like before I started. It was during in the middle of when I was working on volume one. I was going through some personal things, and uh, I was laying back on the couch, and I had this thought like what if we were the probes of this being called God, and
what do you mean by that?
this God is like we live through, like we're that God lives through all of our experiences at all at once, like in a constant motion,
Mm.
and we're just like the probes or in the feelers or of that. It's I know that sounds like way out there, but it's like it was just a thought. I don't know why it crossed my mind when I was in that state.
So
It's screwed. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
so it's like, what if we all are God and are part
No,
of God
no,
in a way?
we're no like we're just God is living through all of our experiences. Like we're just almost like the extension or just the feelers, almost like the probes on this plane for something that's bigger, and it's just living all at once through us and through all of our experiences, everything like all at once, like
Is there like
at that level.
a something that you can compare it to? Because it feels like you're
Uh,
trying to explain a different color to me.
I know, I know. It's I can't. I really can't.
Mm.
I'm trying to like figure out like how to like if something like a bigger like I don't know like an like this entity or whatever that bigger that consciousness like if it was like a collective of all of us like that
Mm.
that would be like that God being like I don't know and it's like way off the top because like I said I was in a situation where I started thinking that
Mm. Like, where do you even get that idea from?
I don't know. I was just working on this manga on volume one. Well, this is volume two, but I was working on this, and I don't know. I was going through some thinking
I think
too much.
with a lot of stuff like that, I always remember back to that one Ecclesiastes quote of saying that search through knowledge within the fear of God. And I think that is very specific, a very specific, not a commandment, but like a rule, so you won't go after like look after for the lack of a better word, like nonsense or things that you don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
You know, because like if you don't know where you're going, it's like walking in the dark, and you're gonna end up in a place where you have no idea, like where you're going, where you came from, and it's just, and I've seen that so many times with people that would believe in so many different esoteric things, and that they don't even know where they got it from, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like that's the thing too. Like, okay, I don't know if I might have mentioned this. It was a kind of a
oh wait,
crazy event that happened. I was
oh wait, can I
watching
see?
some document.
Oh, sorry. Can I read some of
Oh,
the chats because I don't want people to feel like we're ignoring
oh yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Lemai says, I tried writing a Christian book, but it was too preachy, I guess. I mean, like, there's always. Oh, wait, hold on. Back it up, back it up, back it up. A couple of chats. So, already, yeah, I read that. Japanese anime has a lot of Shinto and Buddhist stuff. And I noticed that a lot of, like,
Yeah.
principles in Shintoism, Buddhism, they share with Christianity when it comes to, like, the concept of sin and the problem of evil. But where they diverge is, like, how we deal with it. Um, Long Somali said, oh, wait. Raimana says, Long Somali doing palatis about making stuff, no, about to make something spicy. Lamai says, isn't that the devil? Special Edgar said, I guess when it comes to your consciousness thing, Special Edgar says, a lot of detail on Seven's drawing there. Lamai says, the demons know God exists but choose not to worship him. Yes, I believe that. Well, actually, that is right. That is right. Demons know God exists, but they don't worship them. They don't worship him. Lamias is correct of cognisis and Call Jung stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe that I have my own beliefs with like demons and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
they like demons are created by God. God created everything to have free will. Angels and demons. The demons just chose not to worship him, and I believe that every I personally believe that every god, every polytheistic god is real, but they are lesser beings. They are demon. They are, if they do not point to the God the Father, then they are demons. And I believe
Like,
and I believe that after a while uh I don't know how to explain this, but the whole end of it, end of that idea, is I believe that a lot of these mythologies were based off of real people, and when the real people, and like real people before the time of Christ, and there was a time where people were able to probably at death, when they met the Father, they realized that all the goodness comes from him. So like the people were like Odin, that was inspired by Odin. Well, the person that was that people inspired by Odin or Athena or all these different ancestor worship god beings. I believe after they died,
yeah,
they probably have seen the Father, and there's a chance for them to like worship and worship the Father. But there are demons that take the names or the statues or of these pagan deities. So, like I said, any deity that does not worship, that does not point to God the Father, is a demon, is an enemy of God.
okay,
That's my thing. That's my personal belief.
okay. Like, well, see, that's the thing. I, like, like me, I'm kind of like up in there. I don't know. I don't know. Like I see, I hear. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh, well, I was gonna go into this one thing. Like my roommate. Well, he left. When he left, some bad shit went with him. So like, anyways, like I remember like one time I was watching a documentary, and it was like on the Nanking, rape of Nanking or something,
Mm.
when the Chinese or the Japanese came over and did atrocities during World War II, I think. Yeah. Well,
Right.
anyways, like I was watching this documentary, and like all of a sudden, like me and my brother were just sitting there, and I was like, man, shit, like I need to like get some water or something, and like I didn't go to the kitchen to get water. I went to the bathroom and like blacked out, like like I've never like blacked out, like I've never, I don't know, I heard the term whatever, but I was still conscious,
Mm.
and where I was at was like complete blackness, like I couldn't see my body, everything was black, and I remember like yelling like guts, just yelling to see just like anything, like, and it felt like I was falling, and I was like, I would never want anyone to go through that. And my brother was like, I heard like knocking on the bathroom door, and I'm like waking up in like a cold pool of sweat and stuff, and I'm like, he's like, hey man, man, you're like screaming like the dude on Doom or whatever, like bloody, like you're getting like burning up or something. Not like burning up, but like, because I don't want to say, oh, that, well, that's the hellfire, man. It was like it's like like yelling like guts, man. Like he's like, yeah, saying that. He said that's not like you. He said you don't do that shit. I was like, yeah, of course not. I'm like, so what was going on? I was like, man, I turned off the documentary and like just like chilled the hell out, because it was like I would never want anyone to go through that. And
Right.
at some point in my manga, I might add something like that in there, that experience.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Just
That
like
was scary.
experiences that you can't explain.
Yeah, it was just. I remember like everything like turning into like a little dot, and then just blackness
Mm.
and just endless falling.
I feel that.
That feeling of that gravity, that feel of like when you're on a roller coaster,
I feel that.
that hill.
Let's see. Let's see. Trying to do. Hold up. Let me check the chat and see if
Yeah.
is everybody seeing the thing right? Yeah. Okay, everybody's seeing the thing right. Cool. Cool. Nice. But yeah, I wanted to like a little bit of a topic change. I wanted to start doing the what the wait, what was it, the to make more videos, but that
Doing this.
yeah yeah, doing this, like, or getting back to making live streams. But because like I think ever since I finished with Just a
Oh yeah,
Reaper.
congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Like, how do you feel about it? I would feel happy. Like,
time for the next one,
but
I
how do you
suppose.
feel?
Time for that. I don't really feel it. Like I guess it dies.
It's not over.
It dies. like, I think when you after you have your first book done, that's like
Yeah.
that's like where you get to have that high. But after you have like several books, it's like, all right, this is another one. Time to make for the time. Like, I'm not done with the story. Amateur
Yeah.
hour is over. Time to get back to the grind.
Yeah. Now,
How many ramen is
books are you planning to go with this?
with
Like, whenever you feel it's done
with Just a Reaper? Like
with Purgatory.
Purgatory Academy, 7 book. I want to strive for 7 books for the symbolism, but
Yeah.
might do 8 to round it off. Maybe
Okay.
I have it on my wall, like what every book is gonna be about, like every because like
Oh, really? Like,
yeah, because like I can write it off right now. Like since book 3 is about what was it, truth, lies, and falsehoods. Book 4 is about the differences between passion and love. book 3, and that one's gonna be another. I swap between like Travis and like the demons and
Yeah.
Susan and Jem. I swap between those two perspectives I think people really like the A B plot line structure that I have with Purgatory Academy from book 2. So I'm just keeping that spirit alive.
Yeah.
And book 5 is going to be about the dangers of escapism and distractions. Book 6 is going to be about the importance of suffering, like how like why. I remember I was like, this reminds me of like when I was playing Persona, and a lot of like anime and a lot of like Japanese media, they all think that like suffering is a bad thing and a thing that's meant to be avoided or something like that. And I'm like, that's bitch made philosophy. Like suffering is good. Suffering is
Uh,
like I know
you learn
like
from suffering, kind of.
yeah, you learn from I
Unfortunately.
because I remember when I did like when I skimmed through Buddhism, like they say like the whole point is to reach nirvana, and people do not reach nirvana because uh they are too bogged down to suffering, and then what causes suffering is to want things to begin with. Like if you to achieve nirvana, you don't want to have a wife, you don't want to have a house, you don't want to have possession. Like you don't want to have possessions, and you don't want to have a significant other. Because to have a wife or a significant other, that is to
It keeps you
want.
bound to here.
Yeah, it keeps you chained to the physical world. Like this is what I and this just goes back to what I said earlier with like a lot of things with Christianity and Buddhism. They have a lot of understanding of like what is sin, what keeps us from going to that next path in life. While Buddhism says like the answer is to like hate and like not want anything. Period. Period to reach nirvana. With Christianity, it's God created everything, and because God created everything, everything has a purpose. Everything is like everything like I want to say like God created everything that is good and not so good. Um, with that being said, he does tell us like which are sins, which are abuses of the things that are created. But everything is made to glorify God. Everything is made to glorify Him in what
Exactly.
in ways that we can understand, and sometimes ways that we cannot understand at the moment, right?
Exactly. Well,
So so the
okay.
material yeah so the
Well,
material world isn't bad.
no,
Is
it's
my
not because I mean we're. It's like, I mean, is it here? I mean, is this material world here to like forge our like reasonings? Like our kind of like you kind of got to go through stuff on this plane, and then when you ascend to the next, when people pass and stuff, it's like like do they come back and do they like that's where I'm like at kind of like I don't know, like I have a lot of questions about the afterlife and death and stuff like that, just
I
and
mean
then when
yeah
religions applied. But go ahead. I know I keep like jumping around with that, but it's just
no it's like
I don't know, I just start thinking a lot.
no I remember like saying hearing something that's along the lines of if there is like an afterlife it would absolutely be the most important thing like to people period. Period. You know what I mean? So and plus like it's human beings aren't like we don't evolve in a sense that we're not smarter than our ancestors. Like we want the same things that they wanted. It's just the where we have this disconnect is that we know more. You know what I mean? We know it's like
Like, do we?
no, like there. Yes, we do. But the thing is, knowing more doesn't mean that we're smarter than them. Just because we have more knowledge doesn't mean we have more wisdom. And
I mean, like,
wisdom is the appliance of knowledge.
yeah. I mean, but that's the thing too. Like, and see, and the thing is, like, I always like question a lot of this stuff because, like, like then like the pyramids and then the Bible and then ancient structures, stuff like that. Like I start questioning things. Like like I know this sounds like way out there, but
Mm-hmm.
but is it? It's like I work with machines, like I do stuff like with presses, and like drills and like CNC machines, like
Right.
stuff like that, like cutting something straight off a mill out of a chunk of steel.
For
It's
real.
like stuff like that. I question it. It's like the pyramids, like how are those built? And we're told like, oh well, we got to use chisels and this and that. And I work with machines, and like how does that fit in the Bible? Like I just that's just me and my brain going out and like thinking a bunch of stuff like we're the human timeline and all that stuff. And
How does machine
it's like I question that shit. It's like why not?
like
Well,
what?
you're not supposed to. Why not? It's there.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. Like, what does machines have to do with like the Bible? What do you
Well,
mean
I
by?
just kind of wonder about like the human timeline and
Mm,
machines. Like that's where I'm at.
I feel
Like
that.
like are the pyramids ever mentioned in the Bible?
I'm not. Like, I haven't looked into it that much, honestly, because that's
Is
not.
it man-made? It's like
I haven't looked into it because it kind of honestly doesn't really interest me in like in that terms and that kind of stuff. But yeah, for me personally, I'm more of a like seeing the Bible as like a narrative. That's my like people see it as like a book of history. They can. And I'm pretty sure it it, it hashes itself out. But for me, it's the narrative of the Bible that always keeps me going back to it. That like stabilizes meaning within the meaning and purpose in this earth.
like when you read the Bible, I've read
Mm.
it. I mean, I was like younger when I read it. Like I mean, that's crazy. When you read it, like what do you get out of it?
Uh, what I got out of the Bible was basic. It really comes from. Lamai says, "I don't recall reading about the pyramids." I think it really like when it comes to like the. It reminds me
Yeah,
of. It kind of reminds me of like when I was talking. Okay, I'll go back to
put
what you
in
said.
there.
I'll go back to what you said. What I get from out of the Bible, because like this reminded me of like when I was talking to a group of people and they said, "What about the Like, how can the Bible be real? What about the dinosaurs?" And I'm like, the Bible isn't about dinosaurs. Like it's like if the Bible isn't a like are like is the Bible about pyramids? Is the Bible about X Y? Like the point of a story is to is to like tell like forego a message first and foremost, right? To tell a story between for the overall narrative of like the Bible through the Christian perspective is that God so loved the world he gave his only begotten son so those who believe in him have everlasting life. And Jesus Christ, when he came to earth, he basically vindicated the Old Testament uh, by relaying through the people of scriptures of the Old Testament and saying he who brought Abraham also I came from the God of the Abraham and explain in some along those lines, right? So when it comes with that perspective of how I see it, it's more of a it's true. I usually look towards Jesus when it comes to the truth behind, well, I guess like the physical world truth behind it, because the whole discourse of a lot of religious things. Well, I guess the most important discourse for me is Christ is who he says he is, and when I read the Bible, what I get out of it is the main figure of this book who he says he is. Is he the Messiah? Is he God in man? And if he is, then I'm pretty sure the things that he says and the things that he tells us to do um, is important. I don't and at that point I'm not really thinking about pyramids. I'm not thinking about dinosaurs. I'm thinking about like how much I like
I
story
mean,
yeah, how much I like storytelling and how can I learn from the Bible to tell better stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But that's
I
just
mean,
how I get
yeah.
it.
I mean, the Bible does definitely, yeah. I mean, because I mean, there's like life lessons in there. You know, there's good
Yeah,
lessons in there.
yeah. And I guess like when it comes to looking for like just asking questions, I remember somebody. I remember. Well, I believe wholeheartedly the idea that there can be wrong questions to ask. There can be questions that will just lead you nowhere.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
understanding like why are you asking these questions? What are you trying what I guess the best way I can say it like this, right? As a writer, right? When you write dialogue, the purpose of dialogue is to get the audience to know, either get the audience to know what the characters know, or to have everybody understand what is needed to be known at that scene, right? So every exposition needs to further the further the not just further the plot, but further the flow of information to get everybody up to speed. And I say that with like asking like just general questions, right? So if I ask a question like what do you want, like there needs to be an end goal. There needs to be a purpose of why you're asking this question. Are you trying to get closer to the truth? Like what to be closer to get closer to the truth, you need to have a presupposition that the truth exists, or having an idea of what the truth is like in the first place.
I guess I just do it because
Or
I'm just
or
curious about human history.
or say like is truth like something that's worth valuing to begin with, right?
Maybe in some way, it's like inside of me. It's like I'm kind of eager to know. I would like to know.
And that kind of goes back to the thing what I said about like how we're like not really different from our ancestors, right? Like the uh, we're not smarter than them. We just know more. We just have more access to knowledge, and having access to knowledge isn't like as great as a lot of people would like to think, because there's a lot of information out there that is what it is. It's just information. It doesn't lead you to anywhere. Like I guess the best explanation the
I guess
best
there's a
explanation is like Twitter. Like everything on Twitter
yeah.
isn't true. Like everything that you see on the internet, everything you see on Twitter is information, yeah. But is it
But
good?
it
Is
could be
it
mixed in with disinformation.
yeah, not
You
just
know, it's like
yeah.
everything's not, you know, in some things you have to, it's not black and white. Some things you have to look into it and see the gray matter of it. It's like, you know, like if someone's like, well, on a microscopic, uh, it's like, all right, well, I'll do my research and I'll see if this thing works like this, or if, you know, and then when you go find out for yourself, and then you can discern what is real and what isn't. You know, like, no, that's not true. uh, Drinking water out of the creek, out of a dirty creek, will not increase your health benefits. You know, it's like one of those things. Like,
Yeah. LeMay also
and
says he
then you,
oh wait, sorry. LeMay
oh, go
also
ahead.
says he loves how you renders trees.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I figured give him a show while we're talking.
Yeah. So continue.
It's like one of those things. Like, someone says, "Oh well, if you drink dirty water from the guy from the," it's like that one thing is, dude. I watched this one guy, and just not knocking the Indian culture or nothing, and he was like a prime minister or something from India
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and he took a big drink of the Ganges. Took a glass of
Oh
the Ganges,
yeah, to
drank
prove
that,
that it's like clean,
and got
right?
sick as fuck. Yeah, it's like he fucking got ill, and yeah, I was like, there's some things like, yeah, man, go ahead, man, just drink it up, man. You'll be all right. Like, are you? It's like, and then there, and then there's the mega churches. If you ever look into that, I mean, I would have to say that's probably pretty
Mm-hmm.
evil.
Oh
Look
yeah.
into some mega churches. There's some people. It's it's sad that some people will take someone's faith and sell it. And that part, I'm like, man, that's like,
Oh
to
man.
me, I feel that's wrong as heck. That's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, I
That's
get
not
you.
right.
I get you. I think it's also it's it kind of reminds me of when you say mega churches, the first thing that comes to my mind is like Christian rock music, and the majority of people who make Christian rock music weren't Christian at
They're
all.
not.
They were just they were mostly just atheists, Jewish people, or like a lot of Christmas movies are written by Jewish people, too. Like Hallmark
Yeah.
Christmas movies are written by Jewish people that uses that uses like the Christian aesthetic to make money, especially on like Christmas
And that's
time.
and that's not right. That's like, it's not right. And even like I've been to church. I grew up going to church, like Wednesdays and Sundays, and had to do the choir and all that stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
it's like doing that stuff, and then seeing, you have church, and then you have the human part of church. And then I was like always wondering, like, why are they passing a tray around? You got to put all this money in there. And why are the pastors driving really nice cars and stuff? And I always thought in
Mm-hmm.
the Bible, like, Jesus knocked over all the shops and all that stuff. He's like, man, no, don't be selling merchandise here. Like,
That's yeah. Okay. I know
you
what you're
shouldn't
talking
be like,
about. I know what you're talking about for those like two completely different like scenarios.
I know that's just
Yeah. But it's but I know what you're talking about. But when it comes to like I get with the when it comes to, like the basket things, because I like when you said the basket thing, the first thing that came to my mind was like in the Book of Acts, the first ministry that happened. Like they had to collect money to continue the ministry, or to because the way that they would do things when the first century of the church, they need to have money so they can like go around place to place, because they were essentially nomadic, to go to foreign lands to minister minister to people, and often they would die. Often,
yeah, it's like,
yeah, so because of
you
the
know,
people over there would kill them.
yeah, that's like, oh, here you paid your trip to get whacked.
Like I remember my friend told me about Fox's Book of Martyrs, and it's just a collection of here's this guy. He went on a mission to go to this foreign land, and here's how they killed him.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's gnarly, and it's just like like volumes after volumes, like documenting how
Like,
how the early people in the Christian church, how they were tasked to go to different lands, and how they were just viciously murdered when
yeah.
they got into like
Yeah,
pagan lands.
like like even in the Bible, there's like some pretty violent things that happen in there. But yeah, no, but yeah, like the martyrs and all that stuff, like even St. Peter's Basilica, like all the statues and the paintings in there are like most of them are martyrs. And then yeah, when you hear about what happened to them, it's like damn, like you know.
Yeah, I got what you mean. I got what you mean. Oh yeah,
Give me
Lamais.
2 seconds. I gotta pull this thing off.
Okay,
2 seconds.
Lamais says the church I go to, every pastor has to get a job. The pastor gets a salary from the church.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, say again.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, Lamai says the church I go to, every pastor has to get a job. Lamai, no pastor gets a salary from the church. Oh okay. Like that's I guess that's the rule of his church. Like nobody can get a salary from the ministry. Like everything that the ministry makes, it has to go back to the ministry. That's a cool rule.
Yeah, that's cool. Cause man, church I went to, I mean, I liked everyone, but yeah, that pastor was driving nice.
While you pocket watching.
I can't help it. Like before you walk into the church, it's like pastors reserved, and then you see that brand new like Buick sitting there.
Hey, yeah, hey. Maybe I don't know what he does for a living outside of I don't know. I don't really
But
like. I don't.
anyways,
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I'm not a pocket watcher for. Honestly, I don't really pay attention to a lot of things. I'm like that's how focused on myself I am. I
I
noticed.
just can't help. I just observe. It's just that artist nature. Just you just see things and say it as you see it. It's just it's not. I just I don't know.
I
I
feel
see
that.
it, and at the same time, I'm not like I see it, but I'm not like, hey man, this is gonna happen or this and that. I don't honestly I don't care.
Hmm.
But it's just something I observe and I've seen.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. But like what like I remember we were talking about writing. You asked me like the process that I go to. But like what is the
Yeah.
process that you go to when it comes to writing? Oh shoot! Is it even showing? Is it okay? Cool. It's showing. It's showing. Cool.
Oh, the image.
Yeah, yeah, your image. I was it wasn't even showing for a second. I was like, okay. Oh, Lemai
Oh,
says. Oh yeah, Lemai says during the early church there was a priest who was a day laborer and he used his pay to hire a prostitute and he would pay her to listen to the good news. Hey, that's that's hey that's a the entrepreneurial spirit, I suppose.
I mean,
Don't know if that's like a well, I don't know. I don't know if that's a efficient use of church funds. You know, to like hire prostitutes to have Bible study and force them through Bible study. Like I'm
yeah.
not against it. But I'm like, oh, huh, okay. That's something you don't see every day. It's thinking outside the box.
Where is?
But yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
how do you approach writing in your stories?
Um, like I said, see it like a movie. But also, but when I'm writing things, I because some things change. Like I can say this character is gonna walk to the fridge and go get the carton of milk, but in between that, I might say, well, the character might walk to the fridge or stumble their foot. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mind starts adding those kind of things. Like um, like, and on top of that, like my characters, like I feel, like when I write characters, for instance, like you write them like they're not you. You can't think. Your character shouldn't think like you.
Mm-hmm.
The character should think like how they think. Um, what kind of decisions? How would they make a decision? Not how would you make a decision?
I feel that. I got you. I got you.
So I kind of let it be organic and flow from there. Depends on the situation that they're in.
Yeah, almost die says hello. Hello, almost die.
Oh well,
Yeah,
you know.
I feel you. Man, I'm trying to like draw these eyes and like try and not make them look wonky. Maybe I should open like make the lid one of the lids higher. There we go. There we go. I think the funniest thing like after finishing a segment from one book like the whole ordeal of switching styles to like
Oh, you gotta
to
switch it up.
yeah I like I have to switch the styles back up of like okay I draw this character like this and using different like the different brushes it helps because a
Yeah.
lot because at the end of working on Just a Reaper I was just being reminded that how much uh Travis looked like Eric because they had like
Oh, I
mostly
see.
mostly because of the bushy eyebrows and the nose.
It kind of like it's almost like because you drew over it, I wouldn't say contaminated, but the uh the contents from your other story leaked over, kind of like in a subtle way in your subconscious when you're working on it, and then you realize, oh shit, like wrong character, wrong story.
Well,
You
so
know,
sometimes yeah, sometimes it's like it's it's fine because I notice when I draw things, uh, I think the brushes that I use do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the personality of the style
yeah,
because the
okay,
brush that I used for metal not metal hero but just a reaper, it was a basic what was the bin a milli pen marker that was that like I wanted to imitate the line work of Jujutsu Kaisen because he just used a regular ballpoint like looking pen like pen, and it was like very blocky, very rough. But with this one, I learned at first I wanted to like do a Kintaro Miura type
yeah,
type feel, but I always wanted to use like a rough brush to have like a to give this thing a rough aesthetic.
mm. And that's what you're okay compared to uh Purgatory.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like stories that I wanted a smooth aesthetic for was Let's Go Metal Hero and like Chimera Island because I originally just wanted Chimera Island to be for a female audience and Metal Hero is mostly for children.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't even wouldn't thought that. I thought maybe it would be for like teenage and up. I thought maybe it was kind of has some aspect of some dark things in there, but no,
Oh no,
okay.
it kind of does, but like the thing is like it does. It's really funny about that because Metal Hero is basically my Matt, my co-writer, and me. It's just like a blend between both of our personalities, and, and he's just a rambunctious kid. So, but like as the story goes on, it kind of there's like every book it has a time skip of like when he gets older, because I wanted to make a story. Well, at first, Let's Go Metal Hero was supposed to be a story about two like twins teaching a robot about the positives and negatives of humanity, right? Like viewing humanity through the eyes of a
Human.
masculine and between the masculine and the feminine, and the twins are like opposite sex. And
Okay.
the boy would like tell like show the robot like the masculine sides of humanity, and while the girl tells it about the feminine sides of humanity. But when Matt came along, that was kind of thrown out the window, and like,
Yeah.
but like what we had
Yeah.
was it was still good, and we can still and the idea changed more for Malik being the main guy, but with every book it follows. I wanted to like have a motif of what of like the relationships, the different kinds of relationships like a man will have with women throughout his life, like his sister, his mother, and his wife.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Those the variations
Yeah,
of womanhood, like, or not womanhood,
yeah,
but yeah,
like yeah, men's relationship with women, with the different women in his life.
and how did he
Like how did
process that?
yeah process that while trying to be like a superhero because he like at the end of book one he takes on the mantle of being a metal hero because book one like metal hero is like its own like autonomous thing, but as like we go through like book two and book three, metal hero loses its autonomy and becomes more like and more like a gun, like a kid with a gun, and like Malik just turns into like a kid with a gun. But he
I
wants it.
see.
Yeah, but he wants to be a hero.
But I mean, he's trying to do right,
Yeah,
and it's for kids too. So you have a positive overall message under in it, or you're just kind of like, I mean, you do right.
yeah. The positive message is there are some people that needs to die.
Yeah, some people do die in this story. In this, yeah.
like at the end, like at the end of book three, I want like the whole magnum opus is Malik realizing that to predict, like you have to kill people to protect like others.
Yeah,
Because I really hate the motif in like comic books that like killing is bad, and I'm like no, no, that's
some people
that. I'm like that's a marketing ploy to get villains to come back for the next issue, and it just teaches people that to enable like dangerous actors
yeah,
in your circle
yeah, yeah. Sometimes you gotta
or in your
cut that shit
community.
out
Yeah, sometimes you
in
gotta
your
cut them out.
community. I was watching this documentary on the Wild West and about executions, and what happened was the first, I think, execution, because this dude was a troublemaker in this, one of those towns or whatever.
Right.
He was an asshole, sticking people at gunpoint, killing people. He was
And
no good.
a not cool dude trademark patent pending.
Yeah, just not bad company.
Right.
So he's like, so they decided to, hang his ass. So they hung him, with the noose, and I guess they didn't make it long enough, and he just like it popped his head off right in front
Dang.
of the crowd. Like, I mean, it freaked him out.
They're like, well,
You weren't expecting that.
they're like you're supposed to die, but not like that.
Like,
Golly.
man,
like,
unexpected.
like it's like, what did
You
you
know,
expect? It's like, dog, you're trying to kill him. It's like, what else? It's like, yeah, but we're not animals. We're
yeah,
killers,
I
not
mean,
animals.
like, man, I know he was an asshole, but he didn't deserve that.
Oh man.
No,
Oh
like,
man, I kind of like that about human beings in a way. It's like, it's like I mean, like they're like, I mean, come on. I was like, yeah, we have a job. Come on, guys, this is ridiculous.
I mean, he killed a few kids and
Yeah,
bad people. I mean, he wasn't that bad.
like,
That's like today's society.
no, I remember hearing in a book. It was like a Thomas Sowell book about like the antebellum South, like the South before the Civil War.
Yeah,
And I remember there's a sentiment where a lot of the times when there was a like duels were accepted but they weren't legal, I believe, back in those
yeah.
times. So like when
You
somebody
were
would,
caught.
yeah, if you were caught. So like if you were like tried for participating in a duel in a jury of your peers, everybody would just like let you go because there was a sentiment of like why because there was a sentiment of like yeah I do the same like what like the guy he killed like besmirched his honor, yeah I do the same thing too, let him go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it's like one of those things. Like I was talking somebody one of some people, yes, was one guy, he'll stop over
Mm-hmm.
and hang out and watch me draw, and he was like I was like, I asked him, I said, see, I couldn't wear no cop uniform. He was like, why not? I said, well, think about it. I said, if you're wearing a uniform and I'm wearing one, and I don't know, we had to arrest somebody because they're acting a fool, or something happened, and then one of them gives you an elbow right in the ribs. I said, I don't care, you're human. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was like, yep, I tell you, he was like, yeah, I tell you to hold him, and I'll start hitting him with my nightstick. I'm like, wow. It's like all IQ goes out the window. It's like you forget that you're a cop.
It's like I mean, like when it comes like being a cop, like when it comes to like a lot of people when it comes to cop mentality and
Yeah,
stuff like that, it's I pretty much check out in that situation because I know at a very certain level that
yeah,
putting yourself in a position like that, you're gonna
Yeah,
you're thinking that you're gonna die like any day, and
yeah,
it's not like you or me that like walk out of like we have like we run a risk of like getting run over or
yeah.
something or getting into a car crash and dying when we go into the car like. But when you're a police officer, like that risk is like times
Very high.
times 1,000. So in any
Oh yeah,
situation, and like you don't know if you're dealing with a high IQ individual or a low IQ individual, or so like,
yeah.
and
You're dealing with a human with, you don't know what anything is possible.
yeah,
And
anything is possible. You don't know, like they don't know, like you don't know anything. So when a cop gets irrational, it's unfortunate no matter what happens. So I can't really take any side other than like,
yeah,
man,
no,
that
I'm
sucks.
with you on that.
That's unfortunate.
I had a ex girlfriend. She was Puerto Rican, and her father was a cop in Cleveland, and his
Mm-hmm.
partner got killed. Shot and killed.
Yeah,
You know, and after that, he just, was your partner for like 15 years, and he fell into a whole, depression and just hung it up. Just said, I can't do this shit no more.
yeah, it's not sweet at all. So I
No.
can't. So it's hard for me to even be like, oh man, so the cop should have done X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I can't really like. I never had
Yeah.
training. I never held a gun. I never really got stopped by the police for real. So I can't really say anything. I can't be the guy being like, oh well, this should like. I can't really be the guy to name the play by play like it's fantasy football. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've
Yeah.
never been in that situation.
Yeah. Getting arrested is not fun. I've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, just driving dumb shit. I didn't wasn't drinking or nothing. Just dumb altercation. But anyways, like, uh, but yeah, I don't even know how we got into talking about all that stuff.
I remember
But yeah,
when I was taking psychology, that's like how men like talk, like going from one conversation or one thing to the next without any eye contact. Yeah, like even
yeah,
if we were like together and we were like talking, we still wouldn't look at each other.
yeah. It would just be like,
Yeah, we would still like
there's
it would
occasional eye
literally
contact.
yeah it would be so funny because like if we were in the same room, it would still be the exact same vibe. I'd be working on this, he'd be working on that. And we would just talk about the same thing.
But yeah, I should probably take a short break.
Oh yeah, breaks are fundamental. Like, do you ever take any days off?
No,
Why not? Goodness gracious.
because I feel I need to keep because like I know like at the end of this month I want to get this volume out,
Okay.
and I always think of like because right now I'm trying to push for 4 books a year,
Mm. Okay.
maybe five. I have this side story that I'm working on.
Oh,
It's like an
okay.
annual thing. But yeah, like no, I'm always drawing because like I said, I feel guilty, have that guilty conscience. Like
When you're not
if
doing anything.
yeah, if I'm not working on this, I guess I train my mind like that. If I'm not working on this or drawing, then I'm like I feel guilty for not doing it, not
Mm.
working on the thing. But
I
I've heard,
I feel
but
that.
that's how I work. That's how I just feel. That's just a personal thing. But go ahead.
Yeah. I don't. I really don't think. I really haven't thought about how I would feel if I didn't work on this. Like for the past couple of years, I just wake up and work on the I like wake up and work on the comic, like I'm an NPC, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. I'm the comic guy, and when I'm not working on the comic, I just look at ways that I can promote myself or just show way I can promote myself or ways that I can uh, get more people to read it.
Yeah, get eyes on your product.
And it's really it's pretty fun. Not gonna it's pretty
Yeah,
fun. Not gonna lie. Of I remember my dad. I think I told you this before. My dad would ask me like back in the like a while ago. He asked me if I liked marketing it or making it more, and I never and like I don't think about it like that, like at
Yeah.
all. It's more of this is what I need to do if I want to keep doing it, right?
Yeah, I see.
And
You feel compelled.
yeah, because when when I go into like the marketer mode, I realize that it's another form of communication, and I already see telling storytelling as a form of communication in of itself.
Oh yeah. I mean, it is like it. Like I feel like when I feel like I can express myself through drawing and telling stories through sequential art compared to like how we're talking right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause like that's I because I know like my mind jumps around a lot, and it's just like all right, slow the hell down in your head. And on top of that, I'm drawing at the same time, so that don't help.
Oh no, like this is a like a chill for me. After I had the book done, I'm like, like working on it for like at least 6 hours a day. I'm like, I can relax. I can relax a bit. I can relax a bit. It's fine. Like I just gotta figure out. Oh yeah. So I just gotta figure out how
Yeah,
can I.
what's the chat saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if the
I
chat.
need
Almost AI says hello. Hello again. Hello, almost AI.
how many people are? Oh, hello.
Oh no, it's just us right now. Just chilling. I feel like if I streamed a little bit more often, it would be a little bit different. Or if I streamed like a different place as well. If I
Mm.
dual streamed.
Oh, in the YouTube chat, there's nobody in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the YouTube. Maybe Lamai is in the chat because sometimes there's like people that would just like lurk and like listen in the background because it's like being in a Discord call, I guess,
Yeah.
for some people. And maybe I should like get back into streaming again now that I'm like kind of in
Like
a
what?
chill mood.
Like what days you're thinking?
Um, when I'm not streaming on Twitch, like Tuesdays, Thursdays, I'm not gonna. I can't stream. Well, I'm not gonna stream on Saturdays or Sundays because Saturdays are usually my vending days, and I'm learning how to do the backpack vending. I'm trying to get that down to a science of how do I get people to engage with me. How can I
Yeah.
sell the pitch to get them to ask the question, like ask the question how much everything is, tell them the price, and get like $50 out of a person who asked that question.
Oh, and another thing, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Feel excited. Get excited about your stuff. Like talking to people.
Oh yeah.
Like I learned. Like I learned. Like I mean, Chef Ramsay does that. Like if you ever watch Kitchen Nightmares or not even that or his Hotel Hells or whatever, it's like he says that those kind of things. It's like, yeah, get excited about it. Like, you know, like if you start talking about your stuff, like, oh yeah, yeah, my book came out. Yeah, go check it out if you want to read it. Like, does that sound like, well, if he's acting like that, do I really want to buy it?
Oh, that's so freaking
That,
funny. That's so freaking funny because like I'm only not excited when I'm on the internet. It's like it's oh my gosh. Because like when somebody asks about the comics, I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you like 6 ways till Sunday what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do with the money, why I do everything. But every time I talk about like storytelling, it goes into like a conversation about philosophy, which literally is the point. Because every it's like yeah, like every
you
like I
live
think
by philosophy.
yeah, like literally every conversation that we had so far, well, which is two, like we talked philosophically or like religiously, philosophically, and like the love
Yeah.
of knowledge, because that's what I think. Well, that's what I believe. is like the most important thing about storytelling is to share, or just art in general, is to share philosophy and share. Oh well, share like a like find like having a way to get people to understand a different point of view or through a nonverbal means.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I remind. Oh yeah, that kind of
Oh,
reminds me of when I was watching a YouTube video about British comic creators, and one of the persons that was featured in that video was the creator of Watchmen, and
oh yeah.
yeah, I remember he said he
I've heard.
stopped telling stories and making comics because he feels like storytelling is a form of like magic.
I mean, go ahead, continue.
And I agree. Yeah, I agree. I sort of I low key understand what he's talking about
Yeah,
because when you're in a conversation with a person, when you're talking about something important, like everybody is like has their walls up. Like there's nothing that you like. You can only have a conversation with somebody when you want to get something done, entertain a thought, or if you to entertain a thought, or just like kill time, right? A source of entertainment. But when it comes to art, like you can't argue with art.
but in a way, it's the absolute. In a way, it's absolute. You can't because it's there.
Yeah, and it influence and it has a way to just like with any kind of magic, it influences just like in magic and all these fantasy stories, like it influences the person's psyche in a similar way. Like and I will keep going back to that the example that you said earlier in the conversation about the skinhead kid. Like he wasn't a
Yeah,
skinhead before, but after watching that movie influenced him
yeah.
to
To be a dumbass,
yeah, to like take on a persona that he never
to
had.
get his kid, it, it influenced someone enough to get his head kicked in.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
He
Like
got his
that's
he got his head cursed off.
he got, he got his head cursed off like the black guy at the beginning of the movie.
I'm like, dude, you have a big ass head. You shouldn't be talking that much shit. And
the hitbox on your head is so unfair, dog. I would.
yeah, that freaking hitbox is huge. And
Gotta get that nerf, bruh. You can't.
I was like, oh man. Uh, I mean, I've seen some stuff in my life, and like, there's this one kid. He didn't have like arms and legs. He was pretty much a torso. Maybe he had like a little arm, but he talked a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, I'm like, you're talking that kind of stuff to people like you as if you have arms and feet to defend yourself or run. Like
It wasn't even a
so one
for
day,
wait. It wasn't even for a joke or anything.
no, this is a real person.
Huh? No,
I mean, he had no like,
I was saying like he wasn't doing it for a bit.
no, he just. I was like, I thought maybe because I mean, I'd be pissed, I'd be irritated if I was born like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you don't talk like that to people, you know.
Right.
And somebody decided to choke him. I'm like,
I
I mean,
yeah.
someone got him off of him, but at the same time, like, I'm surprised there's people out in the world that do
Will,
that. But,
willing to
anyways,
willing to choke a torso.
yeah. I guess it was like it's like choking a trash bag with a really big knot.
Right. Oh, Bree Bree, what's good? How's it going,
uh,
Bree?
how's it going, Bree Bree?
Uh, man. It's been a while. It's been a while, Brie. I mean, it would be less of a while if I streamed more, so that's on me. That's more on me. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, but hey, I'm taking it easy again. Maybe I'll bring back streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, whenever you're on, I know I'm supposed to stream with Marshall. I don't know if he's maybe tomorrow if he does. But but yeah,
Nice.
um,
Yeah, I think
I
I really like these. I really like these art streams or and stuff like
yeah, they're
that. It's
pretty
really
cool.
nice. It's a great. It's why don't people do more of this? You know what I'm saying? It's very on like
Yeah,
yeah. I have this. I have an art get, and it's like a little bit of a podcast, a little bit of a production thing. Production.
showing what's going on,
Yeah,
what's in store. This is showing what's being cooked, being
absolutely.
baked.
Cooks in the kitchen, working on their things. But yeah, it's going good. Glad to hear that, Brig. Glad to hear that. But yeah, like I for a while, I was like collecting artist business cards because I wanted to do something with them. I want to like add them to my newsletter, and
Oh, that'd be good.
yeah, because I do this thing where on my newsletter where I would just post four or like four pages for my comic, and within those, so like, and I would like upload them, like send them out every day. And
Oh
you would think people would get annoyed with like having like
no,
newsletters
no.
every day. Yeah, they don't really. And I was like surprised about that. Like the one thing that I'm notoriously bad at is call to actions really. Like I mean I have like the things like hey you can buy the book here, you could buy you do X Y and Z, and to a point where I just like stopped sending them to like Amazon, and I just said just buy subscription so you can see like all the bonus stuff. So I'm just trying to find
I
a
have a
way.
question.
Hmm?
Now, do you do the downloadable stuff on Amazon?
I used to, but Amazon keeps
Can you?
blocking. Yeah, you can. Personally, for me, Amazon keeps blocking me, so I'm
Why does
like,
he
what?
blocking you?
I
Like
wish I.
blocking you in what way?
Yeah, it just says blocked. It won't let people download the the
I'm
the digital
like,
thing.
well, that's a problem.
I think for me, I post. Maybe it's like it's because I post my my comics on the internet for free, and they probably, and if I know like if you're on the KDP program, that's a no no. Which
Oh, really? What's
yeah,
that?
so the KDP
Because
program, I think the KDP
I was
program,
talking,
it's been a while. Like go ahead, sorry.
I was asking, Young Wavy, the artist. I was asking him about that today earlier, and he
Mm-hmm.
wrote something about the KDP, and I have to get back to him about that. But go ahead. What is the KDP
Oh,
program?
so the KDP program is something like uh, if you do good, like selling your books on Amazon, they'll have like a more of an incentive to push you than if you're not on it. But if you're like a part of the KDP, like if you're on it, that's not a guarantee that they'll like go out of their way to promote your stuff. It's more they will if you show yourself as having an audience to buy your books through Amazon.
I see.
And like
Oh,
oh yeah, and like I guess if people who are well, actually people who are part of the KDP program, they are part of the Amazon's what was it? They have like their own program where people who are have like Amazon Plus or whatever, they get to read the comics for free, and you get paid per like page that people read on Amazon. It's something
because
like that.
I want to put volume one out by the end of this month for a downloadable
Mm-hmm.
on Amazon. I'm learning some things right now, and but also like Okay, because I was like wondering about that, like how does that work? Because also, I mean, it wouldn't having physical copies wouldn't interfere with their whole KDP program.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll look into
With KDP, the only thing that they don't like is if you have your comic available to read for free on the internet.
Oh,
Because
but
they,
what if I'm selling physical copies though?
yeah, so yeah, if you sell physical copies, they don't care.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, we're good.
Like I tried, and because I'm like awful at gathering an audience or gathering like a following,
Man,
whatever. No, I only have this amount of numbers on my channel because I did a lot of freaking shorts and stuff like that. I know it looks impressive from afar, but dog, I look at your I like look at my engagement when it comes to the posts, and you do vastly better than I do when it comes to like engagement, like community posts.
I kind of wonder, like, I don't know why that would be, and I'm just curious, like, but you've checked the numbers out on that.
What when it comes to community posts engagement?
Yeah.
Oh no, like I just look at your engagement posts and you get like and you like your numbers are just higher in a shorter amount of time than mine. Even though you have like less subscribers, your audience, even in your on your videos, you still have like more comments. So you have more of an you have more audience engagement on your channel than on mine. I guess my audience is more like uh, live live chatters, I suppose.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like
Yeah.
videos and stuff like that, like I only like a handful of people would comment on there, or at least like look at it. So
I'm just thinking.
yeah, I'm a numbers guy. So so like
No,
people,
there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong.
So
Like, okay. I was just like wondering because some things
and not only
like
that,
because
not
I'm
only
about to.
wait, hold on. I want to say something. I'm gonna toot your horn a little bit more, right? Because even though I don't have to, right? And you were able to like sell like around 10 books on your website when you had Under God for sale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even able to do sell that much, period, on my website. So you have that tells me you have an audience that is willing to engage with you, and that's a position that I don't even know how to get there. So like
Oh,
you're going off. I feel like you're like far better when it comes to like an audience engagement than I am.
we can. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because it's. Do you think it could be the digital to the traditional drawing? Do you think it's that thing? That's why I kind of wonder, like, what gets more engagement? Is it the digitals or traditional drawings?
If I look like when I look at your videos, it looks like you have the types of videos that you make. It's you're just working on your comic, and sometimes you say something. Maybe it's like it could be that people are just drawn to traditional artwork, but it's at the same time you would look at Watch Me Draws and all that stuff, and people like textured pen. Sorry, and people just like arts. I don't know, but the fact that you do traditional is part of the draw, like part of the novelty of it, because like digital art is a dime a dozen, and when people are usually doing digital art, they have to do something that also stands out from the pack, and that's where the commentary community comes in, where you have like people with their or commentary community or PNG tubers come in,
Yeah.
where like they do the digital art, which literally anybody with like a Wacom, like with a tablet in
Yeah.
OBS and a computer can do. not even that, like with a phone, and they can draw on their on with their finger, and can record whatever they can do. Um, you have the advantage. I think what you like your advantage is doing something traditional.
Well,
That's what should we call it? A hunch.
I mean, like, okay, do you have any coffee shops around your area? I'm sure.
I do, yeah.
Okay, there's something like sometimes I'll go and draw at my local coffee shop. I'll drive down there and draw. And there's artists down there where they'll have, their digital stuff, you know, their laptops and all that. But I'll go in there with, inkwell and nibs and stuff. I'm not trying to. I'll pick a corner or whatever. I'm like out of the way, or by the window by some sunlight, But I'm like out of sight, out of mind, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But people will come up just to, you know, because of the tools, because it's like it's so like foreign to them, but yet it's old. It's like, what are you using? It's just something about the tools and using them, I guess,
Oh yeah,
from what
yeah.
I observed. But
Dude,
that's just in my coffee shop, and I kind of think, is it the same on the internet?
yes,
I don't know.
yes.
I just
What usually works on the in life in real life, it can be transferred to on the internet, and I've learned that kind of several times, several times. So I would say yes, it is because you're using old but gold methods of creating comics. It is like a big draw to what you do.
no, no. That's the thing. Like if you were to transfer over to the traditional, I wonder, like, would people watch you more than just a hunch?
Mm,
I'm just
yeah,
just curious.
I don't know if it's anything that's like I would. It's worth. It's worth. I don't know if it's even worth doing that, right? Because like everybody is like. It reminds me of this one saying like life is like a game of chess, but instead of everybody starting at the same place, you start off with like advantages and disadvantages. So like what you have, like you have your advantages, and you know what, like you have a better understanding of like what works for you. And for me, I'm kind of shooting at the hip. I know that there are things that like work better for me, and that I'm using to my advantage, like having four comics, looking up four comics at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that right there is quite a feat.
yeah. So like I
Because I mean,
go ahead.
seriously, that's something like a lot of people do not do. Like I said, I was working on a second manga on the side, and even that was taken. I was like, oh, I can't. I mean, man, four stories.
Yeah, I mean
Hey,
there.
Mason, can you give me a second,
Go
real
ahead.
quick? I gotta go grab my drink.
Go ahead. Get
Two
down.
two
Go
seconds.
ahead. Get down. He took my money. Now I. Oh shoot! Let me edit the video. She took my money. Now I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way over time. Who digs on me? I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with
I'm
no
back.
broke. Okay, hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Okay, let's see.
Got
Let's see.
the Japanese.
Oh, sick. With milk, milk. Yeah. I think what like kind of makes me upset a little bit, is because I am doing well, not upset. One thing that I've learned, uh, is that I'm really more open to like the marketing aspect. of like promoting the comics, and I feel like
Yeah.
even more than like other comic creators or manga creators. And one of the things that I've learned that I right now I take to heart is I don't need to. I don't like. I'm at a. I don't need to like work fast. Like having a finished
No.
product. Like having a finished product is kind of like.
It feels
like you can.
good.
Yeah, it's good, and it's so good to the point where you
Just
really.
don't rush it.
Yeah. Well, let me finish this. Right. Like
Okay.
have like just having a volume. Like knowing what I know, having one volume, and knowing how to market that really well. You probably don't need to make another volume if you know how to market it, or if you know how to use it, use the pages in terms of like
Yeah.
promotional material and such like that.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I've learned is that I don't need to rush any part of the process. It's more of figuring out how can so like I when I take the gas off of a comic create the comic creation process, I learn how can I recycle as much as I can when it comes to with what I draw on and use it as promotional material to get more people interested into the comic. And that's why I'm trying to learn from different artists and different fields of creativity of like music and such like that and learn how they do it, how they like earn different income from
In a
what they
way,
do.
they traverse that path already, and it's just you're just learning. You just kind
Yeah.
of take that blueprint and just kind of say, well, okay, but you apply it to yourself, but also you take what's needed and what's not from everything you've learned. Because everything doesn't work. Some things just doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, cuz like musicians they don't make money from music. They make money like the best way that I remember being put is that musicians they make brand. They make a brand and they sell that brand.
Yep. Yeah. And that's how when you get a brand and you sell it like that, it everything else kind of like follows through. So like I have this card game. I have this card game, and before I was like with the manga backing it, it makes it I feel more effective. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
instead of it like I can tell a story about it and stuff. And some people are like, oh well, I don't know, I don't know if I want to try it because. But now with the manga backing it, I feel that it would draw in people to it as well, and it works. It's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun game, and don't take my word for it just because I say it's fun. It's just I've done test runs with it.
And
Took
it's
3 years to make it, but it was worth it.
yeah. And I guess like a good example is of what I mean. I remember is like Coffee Comics. Is like
Yeah,
even though he doesn't like the whole idea of marketing and whatnot. He's really good at branding, and I know that he doesn't even know that because it's second nature
it's
to him.
like subconscious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's second. I see how he's like against it, but it's second. So but he's so good at it. It's second nature to him.
I didn't realize he's doing it.
Like the branding of being the crucible of being
Yeah,
like the crucible of
demoralization.
demoralization. That's I remember when I was like taking entrepreneurship classes. That's called like a your call. He has a lot of calls to action. He has like a lot of reason of why he's doing it. He has a us versus them mentality that makes people like it. That makes like give people like a purpose of why they should listen to him or why they should engage in his brand. Like he is such a good. He does such a great job branding and like and this is such a great job branding. And when it comes to a person like me, or at least with this internet's presence, when it comes to a person like me, I'm like read my comics, and but when it comes to like read my comics, like why should people read my comics? Because I'm good at it. And like no, that's not good enough. You have to understand like it's for like I have to learn to understand why people should take time out their day to engage with what I have to make or what I have to say.
Yeah,
What am I doing that's going to change the position of the change the face of the earth like being the crucible against demoralization. Like that's like that's
Like
a powerful thing, a powerful marketing thing. Is
it is, it is, it does stand out,
Yeah, it stands
but
out.
also it backs up. You know, it's not just it's not hollow words. It does have something backing it up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and like, so when it comes to me, I'm still trying to figure out like my voice, if I need a voice, because for a while I just wanted to be like, I guess what works when I'm outside, when I'm like vending or like being like
Yeah,
when I'm like selling my comics in person, people know me as the comic book guy. And what it means to be like the comic book guy from where I am, it is that guy, literally that guy that makes the comics,
comic book.
because nobody else makes comic books in my area. Well, people do. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that because people do make comics in my area. They just they only
They're
go
just
out.
kind of hidden.
Yeah, they only go out when it's time for Comic Con, and I go out literally when there's like every weekend.
It's like you create Comic Con, like you live it, like you are the comic guy.
Yeah, I am the comic guy. Like hey, it's like it's Thanksgiving, and like you see me selling comics, and they're
Yeah,
like, oh hey, is it like you would kill it at Comic Con? I'm like, yeah, I guess I will, but I don't make comics only in comic. I don't make comics only in the summer. I make comics year round.
yeah. It's like, but you are, but have you made sales? You made sales, of course.
Yeah,
I think you said you made one the other last week, last time.
yeah. I sell majority like all I'm not gonna say all because that's too hyperbolic. I sell the majority of my books in person. Literally,
Rather than internet.
yeah, rather than the internet. And it kind of it sometimes flies in the face of like what I've learned on the internet because like people would say people need to like have a conversation with you, well, not conversation, but they would need to know about you for like 7 hours before they decide to buy something from you. But from my experience, like people would want to buy something from me after like I don't know, like a 10-minute conversation, and they have not learned about me like they didn't know I exist like 8 minutes ago, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's the whole, being, the person word of mouth, like being, person to person, that physical interaction is real. People see you,
Yeah,
and that's where you make a lot of your sales because of that, because of the physical interaction,
yeah.
the human interaction.
So like what I'm trying to find a way to do, what I was trying to find a way to do for like for a while, is to kind of synthesize like that interaction of like just making videos saying, hey, this is what I make, this is what X, Y, and Z, this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it's not. It's different. It's different. I still got a lot to learn, but what I'm trying to max out right now is like I want to go to Texas, DreamCon, uh, later this year, and it's gonna be like a challenge. I'm gonna go out there and see if I can make my money back attending, just by selling
yeah.
the books that I have like that I bring with me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, I'm listening. Like, but that's, uh, I mean, like, have you ever been to this Texas?
Nope.
Which one is it?
It's a
This is the
dream.
first time.
It's DreamCon.
DreamCon. So you're
Yeah.
definitely going.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna see like the whole thing is gonna be like 4 days. I'm gonna see if I can what make 2,000 $2,200 almost $3,000 in 3 days just by selling the comics on my
Okay.
off my back. Like that might be
All
a
right.
that sounds like an interesting video. Like it's like me and my friend Matt are going to DreamCon to see if we can sell all these books on our back. Can we do it?
Okay,
like
why
it's,
not?
like it's a freaking Mr. Beast video.
I mean, hell, yeah.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, that'd be
I
a
mean,
better
why
idea.
not? You're killing two birds with one stone. So you're going there, you're promoting your book too, and also you got to think of your people online too. Like they see the video, and then you can also say, I'm selling books in person here, but if you want to go check out my store, you can check out if you really want to check out what I'm doing. I mean, you got to get eyes on everything.
Right. Exactly. Like I've also been trying to. I'm still on the whatchamacallit, the Pinterest thing, and collecting as much cards as I can. My Pinterest thing and integrating that with my blog, with my Substack as well.
Oh shit.
Because I think I already said what I'm doing is like I'm gathering people's business cards and like adding like a featured
To your
art,
mailing list.
yeah, featured artist on the mailing list and the art featured, and I just show their. Right now, I'm just showing their business cards because I have it on me, and I just scan it in, and I just like it's like it's a light free promotion type deal,
Yeah.
but it's I but like my rules is if I have to like not I have to like know the person, not know the person, but I met them or have their business card
In
to,
order to do
yeah, I
this
want to do that.
action. Okay.
So it's kind of like promoting people within my backyard type deal, local artists that I meet in like in conventions or or I met in person. And it's very fun actually, and it's a good conversation starter as well. Because I also go to the conventions with ask me about my comic shirt as
Yeah. It's a good icebreaker.
yeah, it's a good icebreaker if I just ask them about what they do, ask about their business, and they would see me being goofy with a shirt on, with that ask me about my comics thing, and that's another
Yeah.
point of a conversation that to have and to connect with people. It's stuff like
I do
that.
like that.
It's stuff like that that like makes it really fun for me to be a marketer.
The interaction. Yeah, no, that I no, I agree. I agree with you on that. Like, even as an introverted as I am, I used to sell art in New York City, in Manhattan, in Union Square and Times Square sometimes.
Mm.
And the thing was like I had to get used to talking to people. And after a while, I broke the ice, and like if I'm in a group of people, I don't mind spilling talking to them and shooting the shit whatever. But it's like yeah, but no, I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, I always like the interaction with people.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of New York, there's also a Comic Con that's happening in Manhattan. Well, an anime con that's happening in
The
Manhattan.
anime fest.
Yeah, the Anime Fest. I'm thinking about
Yeah,
hitting that up too, as well. As well.
I might. It depends. I'll see
Yeah.
where I'm at because, like I said, right now I'm using this year as like crunch time to get these 4 volumes out of the way. Like
Do what I
I
do.
want to build a catalog.
Do what I do. Oh yeah, building a catalog is really important, especially when it
Yeah,
comes to bundles.
I I don't want to. It's like this. I don't want to go to a convention and just bring a PlayStation. If I was like Sony and I just brought a PlayStation, and they're like, "Where's the games at?" Oh, I only got this one game. Like that's
I
how I
feel
kind of
that.
look at this catalog thing. Like, no, I need like 4 books. Second book's almost done, and
Unless
the
like,
third book's being written.
let me tell you, like I have like Purgatory 1 and 2. People are most like people majority unless you have like like have a really good bundle. People are only going to buy the first one. That's my experience.
Okay. They buy the first one and then they don't
That's
end up getting the other ones.
yeah.
I mean, well,
They just buy the first one.
I mean, have you have get feedback?
Uh, very rarely. Like
So what are
the
they
only
saying?
feedback that I get is like the people who buy it from the from like flea or farmers markets, and they are regulars at that market, so I see them again. And when I see them again, they said that they read the book and they like it.
You don't
So
feel, but how do you feel about it?
I gotta keep moving
Or do they
forward.
just, yeah,
Like that's why that like I have the marketer's
yeah,
mentality. It was like I have their money. I just gotta move forward. I was gonna use that
and
money
you're like,
to like further myself.
yeah,
If they
like, all right,
like I already like I every time I sell a book, I'm like, I tell them, you have my contact. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you hate it. Let me know like you have. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you hate it. I'm down for any
yeah.
kind of interaction.
I have to read, I have to read Marshall's book. I was supposed to read it over the weekend, but man, I was just so tied up. So I mean, this weekend I probably no, I have to read Penguin Boy. He's got it on his Lubento site. I think lubento.net,
Mm.
and but you can read it. I think chapters 1 through 9. I think, and where am I going with this? But yeah, after I read that, I would like to. I'm gonna reread Purgatory Academy and give you my take on it.
You can also like, okay, that sounds good. You can also like read the second book because I remember when I was like re-uploading, not re-uploading, but when I was uploading it, Purgatory Academy on my newsletter. I think I got so tired of looking at the pages of book one because I was just been looking at those pages for so long. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna skip the up. I'm just gonna skip the order and just skip to like book two, uploading it on my newsletter
Yeah.
because like
Oh, you jumped the gun with it.
I jumped the gun because like like I know I know everybody likes book one, but I'm like I want people to know about book two and like how can I
Yeah.
improve with what I have going forward.
I mean, well, okay. All right. Well,
Oh, yeah, but that's just
that
me.
if
That's just me. I can always look back in book one and be like, okay, I'll
that
probably agree with like the majority of criticisms that people would have in book one because that's because it's literally my first book. It's very
it
much.
is, but at the same time, you don't want to lose your own self because when people you know, start making like, like they'll say something like, "Oh, yeah, you can take that criticism, whatever." But at the same time, don't change your story for your what you're intending. Like don't do that. Like
I think
if someone says, "Oh well, this should happen to you, this character, man, it would just go right if you just," but that's not how you should. You should tell your story as raw as you can to the best that you can, or else like all that's just like lost,
yeah, I agree.
in their ideas.
I agree with like the way that the the most plausible way that I understand people losing themselves in the story is people who don't have a reason or don't know why they tell the story to begin with. It's like a loss of identity. Because if somebody says
What?
like, "Hey, maybe make the demons the good guys," I'll be like, "You're kind of retarded for for recommending that." But okay, thank you. I'm like,
Like
make your
that kind of stuff.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Like like when you tell stories and you write your stuff, you keep your religion in mind.
I, I,
And
I guess
does it
you, I
affect
guess you could say
your
that.
story writing?
Yeah, yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's more with a lot of Purgatory Academy. Yeah, I guess you could say like yeah. Well, actually, yeah, pretty much. I was like I'm trying to think back of like how as I was approaching this, because like especially like learning, like like Muslim apologetics and like how a Muslim uh, would a general like because there's like a lot of different denominations of like Islam, and even though Muslims will say like no, it's just Sunni and Shiite, it's like not kind of like that's only on paper. pretty much. That's pretty much on paper. Um, Other than that, it's just like I learned seeing like what would be the best way to communicate this while still I don't even think like there's like a compromise well, I don't even think about compromising actually. I think about like what I want to say and then how can I filter it through a person that has limited knowledge. Like would they I guess the best way of that action of that
Yeah.
being an action was like back in book 2, chapter 9 of book 2 when Susan was talking to her friend Emily and the whole conversation of that chapter was Susan saying not agree like saying that morality is not like black or white for or against God because she was explaining that because like through her perspective it's like how can God say it's bad to how can God say it's bad to do X, Y, and Z like kill people when he killed the entire world? Well, like he murdered like everybody in a flood, right? How can like God can like prescribe things to us while like through her perspective he doesn't follow his own rules. So like in the best way and like her and like the devil's advocate of that perspective of that conversation was Emily and notice that everybody in Purgatory Academy is not a believer. They are not God friendly, right? Like so like
That's why they're there.
yeah, that's why they're there. So like I was trying to find a way to say if God makes like if God is the creator of all the rules, then like how can you like if God is the creator of all the rules and everything that we know kind of comes from him, how like who are we to say that what is right or what is wrong when we wouldn't know left or right if it wasn't because of him in the first place.
Hmm, I see.
But
I was like wondering about that because I mean like the stuff I write, like I kind of like I don't know, I just kind of like I never kept like my certain beliefs or or anything affect my writing.
mm-hmm.
In some way, I guess it's like I don't know, like it's kind of like um I know those things exist, and I know but I mean even the worlds I create, like because everything's not done on Earth in like even in this manga, like it's not on Earth, like
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like the religion that they have is like a moon god.
Right.
And but I did take things from things I've learned from religions, here on this planet and applied some of that stuff in this religion of this moon god. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Right, I get you.
But other than that, I just never really, I guess in some way in this book, it's in their world they kind of question these things, but at the same time, I'm not saying, hey, this is a religious book because it goes beyond a lot of that.
Right. I get you. I get you. It reminds me of like I guess an interesting twist that I do is like with Chimera Island, because with Chimera Island, like the Chimera creatures, they have like their own like religion in a way. And I remember watching this one channel called Religion for Breakfast, and the way that
Mm.
he kind of put religions, the way that he like the way that I that stuck with the way that he presented it that stuck with me was the whole point of religion is to serve like to identify a problem and like have a philosophical solution to like said problem, right?
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and like the whole Chimerian thing is the problem is um like what like it's literally the whole religion is trial and error of what creates a long lasting society. Because like the people who are beneficial to the society, their souls goes to the sun, and the sun like expands, and all the spirits and the sun will engulf all of the planets, reaping what it sows, and da 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 until like the sun explodes, and all the spirits with the sun they like go out and they try to find new planets to inhabit. It's very esoteric, but the whole idea
No,
is like,
I like.
yeah, the whole idea is, oh yeah, and the people who are not beneficial to society, their souls go out into the ether coldness vastness of space to be like to be alone forever, like away from the warmth of community.
Just in straight blackness.
Just straight blackness. If you're good and if you're good to the community, if you know how what makes if you contribute to like what makes a community good or what makes it long lasting, your soul's going to the sun with everybody else. It's the sun is basically like is like heaven, but that expands. It's kind of it sounds like Mormon.
It's a physical
Yeah, it sounds like Mormonism.
representation of heaven.
Yeah, it's like a physical representation. It sounds like Mormonism, but like it's a physical representation of heaven that like when you look up into the stars, like you see like those are like that's like it's like presupposing that life always has been, and like the stars are like a symbol like a fit like a physical symbolization that there have been people out there in the vastness of space. They found out how to make society work, how to make life work, and because there's so many stars, there are so many ways that people have found out, and there and like and those spirits of those stars are like some of the spirits are within those stars are with us, guiding us how to make a good society, or how to make a good society, right? And that's why I'm trying to tell like that's literally what I do in like in the prologues of every chapter. I try to like explain that creation myth within poems. So that's the best way I'm doing it. That's how I'm doing it in Chimera Island. I'm trying to like tell the creation myth in like in a song or in a poem, so like the audience can remember it. Cause that's how humans did it.
Yeah, that's through song and word of mouth, like from yeah.
Yeah, that's why humans have like a religion. That's why humans create these stories. That's why we have songs to tell these stories and have these memes passed down from generation to generation to understand how we can become better or be like united with our higher selves to God. You know.
Yeah, I see.
And I say higher selves. That's like so esoteric, but like
Like,
I literally mean
no.
like reconnecting with Christ. You know what I'm saying? And the Father.
Yeah, it's the the ethereal body kind of.
Yeah. That's a.
No, I,
Go ahead.
no, no, you're fine. You're cool. I was just like, like, I just, I do have my questions about a lot of that stuff, and like I said, um, I've had some experiences where, at the same time, it's like, it's just like, I just wish people could be better, and I always felt like, and I probably might have mentioned it before, like, and I feel that people, like, as people, like, we should really make, like Earth, like heaven, like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of our responsibility to do. I mean, I guess that's subjective. It's just like, oh, well, is
Yeah,
it our responsibility to
that's
do
the main
good?
problem. That's the main problem with that kind of thing. It's like there were so many society. I don't believe in uh universalism, or I don't believe in like every culture, like there is no like objectively good type culture or whatever. I don't believe in that, right? But
Yeah,
like that's the problem of saying I wish somebody would be better and just leaving it at that, because it presupposes that there is a universal understanding of good, and that presupposes that if there is a universal understanding, there probably has to be a source or an understanding of like where can we obtain the knowledge of what that good is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's using different it's using ideas that came that like that has a source. I mean, like since we're both like coming from like Western nations, like heavily influenced by like Christian ethics, like we're using the Christian idea of what is good, while at the same time, while at the same time not understanding why it's good, like why it's good to begin with. Like it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
yeah,
it's like one of those things where, I mean, I've heard, like I said, I've heard, like I heard one guy say, I always see like, what did he say? It was like an old quote saying that religion was an art for the animals. Kind of like it keeps people in check from thinking outside the box or doing heinous things. But
yeah,
that's just someone's quote.
yeah. It's someone's
We
quote.
can't just go by that. It's just
That's really that's so fun. I'm like that's
I know it's
that flies in the face of like human history, like flat out. Like like what are you talking about? It's like it's like it was liter- like you like literally like what people do is well, I guess for the majority of human history or written history, people believed in a deity, and like that. I mean, I keep I sound like the corniest nigga alive. Always referring back to referring back to my own book for some
no, no,
reason.
no, no. It's good that you do because you can. No, it's cool. No, you're fine.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of the beginning of well in the middle well beginning of book one of Purgatory Academy, where like the teacher Marco says that um everybody has has like a three like the id and the superego in their psyche, which is like from a different psychologist. I forgot his name, but like that whole ego superego has been debunked. But I like using that idea because everybody's familiar with it, right? But people uses like creates gods out of like their ids and egos to create reason for to do their self-desired needs. So it's not really about keeping people in check. The majority of religions in the world, because there's way more religions than Hinduism, Buddhism, like Christianity and Zoroastrianism, and like there are way more folk religions out there than like that's just like under that branch of paganism. And the reason why we don't know about those religions is because they end up dying along with like dying along out along with it's just natural death when it comes to like a death of a country or a death of a people group or a death of X, Y, and Z, and it gets replaced by something else.
The new, yeah, the
Like
new
the new,
employees.
yeah, the new stuff. And the thing about like with all the like animalistic, there's a word like the pagan stuff. The reason why
Yeah,
the
the
pagan,
pagan.
yeah, the pagan stuff is because a lot of the way that it goes, like a lot of pagan religions, they treat their deities like they're basically like Pokemon
Like
cards,
physical people. Yeah,
like more like
yeah,
Pokemon
like
cards.
this.
And it's and like their deities are essentially um uh landmarks of what they believe or like how they perceive society or what are their ethics as a people group, right?
Yeah,
Or how they how their ethics of their people group, right? And like not everybody have the same values. When you come from different parts of the world, you're going to value different things, and when you value different things, let's say like some people like not one group of people value their women, right? And because like the society that they created, like they allow their women to thrive in a natural like as like women can do like male things like business and such like that. While you have like a different society where the environmental conditions, like you can't really let your woman do X, Y, and Z, so they keep their women under lock and key because like you cannot have the next generation if the women are dead, you know. The women
Yeah.
do whatever they want to do, and like and you have like and just like with everything like communication, like ideas can like go out of control to the point where maybe some countries or maybe some people groups would think like rape is they like don't even have an idea of what rape is. They just think it's just sex,
What is
right?
that? Yeah, no, it's fine, man.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's like no, man, that's not cool.
yeah, like it's but like only like uh it, I don't, yeah. So like I put all this on a pretty pink bow, in saying that using religion as a way to like control people or like keep them away from being animals. Like no, not really, not really. Like the idea that like people are gonna be like their freest selves if they get rid of religion. Like no, no, we're not smarter than our ancestors. Like we're not that different from our ancestors at all. Like back with our ancestors, there weren't really any governments to create religions. They all just did. They just had them because it helped. It's a really good cope with the chaos that happens in the world, right?
In a
So
way, it helped kind of create community.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Religion is like one of
Yeah.
the like the one of the greatest conduits of community as well.
Yes.
So because
Even to this day.
people are wild, but they are social animals at the end of the day. So we do need religions, and
And
yeah, stuff like that.
okay.
It's stuff like that that I find like super interesting. And when people like come with like the Brian Griffin take of like imagine what we could do without God, I'm like you're retarded, and you don't know human history, and you don't know human history or psychology. But that's just me.
Hey,
Oh man,
well, 5 more minutes. I'm about to jump off and go get
yeah,
something to eat.
yeah. It's I would have stopped drawing like
Like,
30 minutes ago. But
I'm just gonna snack on something and then get back to work.
okay, I think it's
Like midnight in 4 more hours. That's when
oh
I'll
my
cut
gosh,
it down because I got to get up and go to work in the
I feel you.
morning. And because I need 50 more pages and I'll be done with
Mm.
this book.
I wonder if I can like make clips of this live stream and probably just have that like do it like do the like make clips again.
Is there any people on the stream?
No, but I used to do like highlight clips when I was
Oh
like
yeah,
streaming
yeah.
because I what I usually do is like I just wait till YouTube to create the transcript and I just put the transcript in a PDF and I just put it into like Chat GPT and I tell it like yo tell me like some conversations that happened in the transcript and they're like oh yeah and like this timestamp you said da 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 and I watch it and I just like clip it out and I just upload it again. But the weird thing about it is that I don't even. I guess I'll just wait. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. I'll try it out so I can tell YouTube, tell the algorithm my YouTube channel isn't dead.
Is that what they're trying to like imply or
I heard
like not?
I heard that if you don't upload, uh, if you like go a long time without uploading, like the algorithm doesn't like you that much as it used to. If you were opposed to like if you were like making uh, frequent posts.
I see. If you make frequent, your algorithm gets kind of. I mean, it keeps you refreshed, kind of like in the system. Kind of keeps you in.
Yeah, it tells YouTube.
You know.
Yeah, it tells YouTube that you're alive. You're ready to make people stay on the website a little bit longer. And when you make people stay on the website longer, then more people are going to get get to see those lovely, lovely ads that YouTube loves so much. Like,
Oh yeah. I think I gotta upload a video anyways on YouTube. I did a video before we before I jumped on,
how do you even do your videos? Do you just like,
just like this.
oh, you don't
I just
really,
sit there
you don't think about anything to
because
say?
sometimes well like and this one I'm about to upload I didn't say anything. I was drawing this in the video
Hmm.
and then we start talking. I didn't say anything in the video. I just did a silent.
You
And
know,
I think I'm gonna title it. Uh, I'm gonna title it "Shut the Hell Up" and draw your manga slash comic book. And that's it.
I feel like with a title like that, you gotta have like a very
Like
abrasive voice. like
2025.
shut the hell up, draw your comic. Then you're like, hey guys, I just want to tell you,
I don't.
you get just shut the hell up, you know, like like.
And I don't even. And I don't say anything in the video. I'm not. You know. I don't. I just. But you'll see. I'm gonna upload it when we get off of here, and
Res-
then it'll be up.
respect, respect. Yeah, I think I will actually make some time out of my day to make highlight clips of this stream. I think it'll be good for promotion of both of our channels anyway.
Yeah, and top of that, you want exposure for your books.
Yeah, it's gonna be exposure for both of our books.
Yeah, both of our books. Because I mean, you have books, you have a website. You know, like you should care about that. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Like by the way, I know this is a stream, but yeah, you guys. I don't know if anyone's in the chat, but you guys go check out angelsoftherenaissance.com if you want to check out my manga, Under God, Volume 1.
Yeah. Check out Under God. Anyway, I think that'll be the